and being witnessed. Sharing. So the keyword here is expression. Okay, so this is for activating our throat chakras. Okay, so the message here is on sharing, and the goal is expansion. All right, and now the way I want to share this message with you is this. First, there are two messages under this. The first one is share from who you are. Share from who you truly are. And the second one is where I probably will spend a bit of my time on. So the first one is give your soul, give your heart. When you have nothing, absolutely nothing that you could ever give anybody in this world, let it be your heart. Share from who you are, be raw. Speak and act in the most healthiest of ways that can allow you to connect with other hearts that are open to connecting with you. And the truth is, our ability to share the journeys that we've undergone, the wisdom that we've collected, the truths that we've uncovered to people around us, to the world around us, gives room for completion of the healing journey, because it starts by transforming the inner world, and then it goes to transform the outer world, completing this infinity between the inner and the outer world rooted in the heart. So share from who you are, share from your truth, share from your authenticity, share from your overflow, share who you truly are from a place that people can truly see and connect with your vulnerabilities. Because guess what? All these scars that you've had gone through, all these parts that we've allowed light to seep through us, that wisdom is partly waited for. Remember, the messages we've been sharing above is being waited for by Maisha, or is being waited for by Stephanie, so she can be able to recognize, oh my God, I never saw it like that. Share from who you truly are. Share from your wisdom, from your lessons, from the things you've had to go through that you really recognize and be like, oh my God, I've broken this cycle. And I did that from doing this and this and the other. And the truth is, the reason why I'm asking you to share from your overflow, share from who you truly are, is because of this. Are you ready? It's because the truth is, ever since time began, we record ourselves by sharing our stories, sharing our lessons, sharing our truths. That is how we keep our essence alive through generations. Somebody might not remember that this was said to me by Chebet. It doesn't matter. But the truth is, the wisdom that I shared down to you, you share it down to the next person, and then the next and the next and the next, keeps your essence, your vibration, who you are active in the lineage that entire information has been shared from. So the truth is, ever since humanity, we've always recorded ourselves through the stories that we share. And our stories is how we get to be witnessed and how we get to witness other people. When we share our story, when we share our knowledge, when we share our wounds once they've been healed, we record ourselves in the spirit, in the soul of the world. And this is why I really love it from what the alchemist talks about, is we become part of the soul of the world. When we open our heart to the world, we become part of the soul of the world. We become part of the story that the wind will carry when somebody seated somewhere waiting for an advice, and your words that were whispered to somebody's ears will be carried by the wind to your ears, and you'll be like, thank you. Thank you, Laventa, the wind, as far as the alchemist is concerned, for bringing this message from my beloved to me. When we give from this space, we truly start recognizing that our stories is how we truly expand our souls. When we share who we are, which is why it's right now, AI could take over everything else, but it will not take the way in which we share our raw selves, the way in which we bare our hearts for the world to see. Because in this way, this is the highest form of giving. This is the highest act of self-expansion. When your wisdom is no longer hogged, when it's not just kept for the few, the ones who have or may have the privilege of ever encountering you, the more you get to share yourself, your essence, your story, your wisdom, your kindness, your presence, you amplify yourself in the hearts of others. You amplify the divine that flows through you in the record in the spirit of the world. So your story exists because somebody is meant to hear it. Your story happened because somebody is meant to hear it. And the world is the keeper of our stories. Other people's cellular memories, other people's dreams, other people's experiences is an amalgamation of our stories. So tomorrow you'll go and say, oh, I was listening to Chebet and this and this and this. In that moment, it is not Chebet speaking, it is you speaking. So Chebet has assimilated and become part of your story. So I get to live on through you. Every single time you share it with your grandchildren. Guess what? I live on through you, through your grandchildren, through their great-grandchildren, and it goes on and on and on. And in that way, we truly recognize the unity that is the universe. We truly get to recognize that our stories exist because there's somebody else there to hear it. That is why we want a community. That is why we want to belong. Is because when we feel like we are part of a story, then we get to know that people will witness us. We'll get to know that people will learn from our existence and find the wisdom in the magic of what we are. So share it. Share it through. Go on. I've given you the ticket to take that camera and express to the world the wisdom that you are. And I think I'm speaking more to myself than I'm speaking to anybody else in this world, because the truth is, the more you share who you've been, who you've become, who you keep becoming, then I learn, then I grow. And beyond that, I witness you. And there's nothing that a soul desires more than to be witnessed in its expansion, in its struggles, in its desires, in its accomplishments, in its failures, in its growth. To such a point, I was even thinking maybe I should put a bash for celebrating failures. You come and tell us, how did you fail? What did you fail at? And how did it feel when you failed? So that I can learn, one, to see how you're trying to discover a bulb 889 times, and then I can also know not to do that approach to discovering a bulb, because guess what? You've already gone through that path. Then let me see, so I can know, oh, okay, so this is how then I put in the puzzle. This is the advice I get to give for us to complete this mosaic pattern. Okay, so our stories becomes the stories of the world. I remember watching this series. I tried to remember the name when I was preparing for this session, and there were these mythical beings. They were like birds and then big feathers, and then also looked like dragons, and they were holding people in purgatory. And the only way that the main character was able to free the people being held in that space, because apparently the god had sent them there by just stories, movies. The only reason why those beings were able to be released is when they shared true, authentic stories. And those beings, those the things that were holding them in the cage, were only comfortable enough to let them go when they truly connected with their essence through the stories that they were sharing. Their stories set them free. You probably don't know if your next ticket to the next vacation that you need to go is seated in your stories. Your next job is seated in your stories. Your next partner is seated in your stories. Your next relationship is seated in your stories. We don't know. All we do know is it's my obligation to share so that I can allow the world to be as rich as it's meant to be.